So, guys, we have a new guest. He's 40 years old, center from Ottawa, Canada. More than 1,000 professional games, Division One IIHF World Champion with Kazakhstan, 39 games in NHL, 241 games and 130 points in KHL for Barıse, Neftekhimik, Medveshchak, Admiral, and Kunlun. So, welcome, Martin Sен-Pьер. Martin.
And for those from Kazakhstan who probably don't know, Martin is you're a firefighter now, you're a rescuer. What an honor, man. It's mad respect. How did you come to this?
I didn't expect this. Obviously, I retired March 2021, so almost 3 years ago. And I grew up, my dad was a police officer, a cop, so I never thought I'd be a firefighter, but I didn't really know what to do. And then I took really a year off and kind of just focus on family and friends and kind of just get my my mind all set as far as a retired life, because there's a lot of guys that, it's a lifestyle with the hockey life, right? And then once they retire, it's kind of back to reality kind of thing. So I handled it pretty good, but a lot of buddies from back home are firefighters. So I kind of went to visit a few fire stations and kind of took a course, and I actually loved it. So fast forward 2 years after, and here I am in just outside Vancouver in British Columbia.
Have you already been in some kind of dangerous situations?
Not fire, not yet, but that's what we work for. That's what we train. But hopefully not. But at some point it's going to come. But we have a lot of car accidents here, and I'm just outside in Kelowna, BC, which is just outside Vancouver. It's called Big White, so it's a big ski resort. So right now the ski hill is opening in 10 days. So there's going to be from 500 people to 20,000 people. So I'm sure I'll get my fair share of crazy incidents and stuff.
Well, we hope everything will be all right.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, Martin, you've been everywhere as a player. Russia, Kazakhstan, Switzerland, England, Slovakia, Finland, China, even Hungary. What city or what country you like most?
Yeah, I mean, every city is different, right? I definitely love being in Astana for sure. Obviously, it's really cold in the winter, but that's one thing I don't miss. Definitely like playing in China when I was in Shanghai. But obviously, Switzerland is a very expensive country, but it's beautiful in the mountains. Austria, Finland. So every city has a different atmosphere, kind of vibe and stuff. So as a hockey player, you kind of want to stay with one team as long as you can. But I was fortunate enough to go to all these different teams in different countries and get a lot of life experience. But I don't know. I'll say Astana was my favorite. I'll say.
It's nice to hear. I was recently lucky enough to visit London, and many of my fellow Kazakhstanis, they would went for soccer, for football, but I found Guildford Flames and went to watch hockey in England. How was your experience there? Because it's kind of funny league with some similarities, but very different.
Very different. First of all, it's a beautiful country. Obviously, London is beautiful, and I was probably 3 hours from London in Sheffield. But I think the big adjustment, I mean, hockey's hockey on the ice, and the training, and obviously the language, speaking English and stuff, was definitely easier than Russian and trying to learn some Russian. But I think it was just the biggest challenge was driving on the other side of the road. That was. So that was definitely an adjustment. But no, I loved I wasn't there for too long. I think I was there for 5 weeks. But great experience there. And that's one thing with firefighting. We don't work every single day. We work 2-3 times a week, but for 24 hours. And I'll have a lot of time to travel. So hopefully I can go back to those cities, and who knows, maybe I'll be back in Astana at some point.
You were traveling through buses, right? Not through planes.
In England, buses, yeah, because it's not. I think the furthest team to go play against is maybe 3-4 hours, maybe. So it doesn't make sense to take the plane. Yeah.
I guess it's very common in Europe, or in Germany and etc. to travel by buses.
Very common. Austria, Switzerland. Some of them in Switzerland, they're pretty long, but it's beautiful. You're right in the mountains. So it's also fun too when you're done hockey. You can go skiing. So different good lifestyle out of after hockey.
Different place in Astana, and you travel a lot with Barıse, because Barıse is the only Kazakh club in the league, and you travel into Vladivostok and you travel into Helsinki. How tough is for a player to travel that much during the year?
It's very tough, mentally and physically too. But I was fortunate enough when I played with Barıse that I got along with all the guys on the team, so it makes it fun to travel and go to restaurants and on the plane and in the hotel. So and we had good teams too, so it was always fun, change the scenery. But Vladivostok was far, Moscow was far, but you kind of get used to it, kind of get in a routine where you have to sleep on the plane, but then you just have to accept it because you got to perform too, right? So rest and eat well and then play hockey.
What you do usually during the 3-4 hour flights? You just sleep, or I don't know, playing cards?
All of it. Well, I wasn't much of a card player, but a lot of guys play cards. Some guys watch a lot of TV shows, video games on on their gadgets, Game Boys or whatever it is, PSP. But I was more of a TV show, kind of have my glass of wine and kind of just relax.
When I'm flying for a long time, I mean for 4 or 7 hours, I'm taking my long socks with me. Is it common among hockey players to wear this like
compression socks?
Yeah.
We have compression pants that I know me and Nigel would wear all the time because it controls the circulation, so your muscles don't swell up, and then because obviously your ankles and muscles, your legs get bigger obviously with the altitude. But I didn't have the long socks, but I had the pants. So we got a lot of guys were making fun of us because it's pretty tight on the body, but you kind of have to figure out what works for you and what doesn't, right? But that definitely worked for me and Nigel.
I used to see it all the time in the plane. Can you share with us your best memory in the hockey?
With Barıse?
Yeah.
I think it was personally for me, I think is when I scored in overtime in against Tractor in playoffs. Was it game 5 maybe? Game 4? In Chelyabinsk. So I remember that because we had a good team, great coaches and stuff, and then it was just I know that the team had struggling before the previous years to go far in the playoffs. So that was really I don't know how many years before that they didn't go past first round or something, but that was really, and again, the highlights, I have the video on my phone too, so sometimes I'll just look at it. But that was, for me personally, that was probably my best memory. But there's so many memories too, with playing with Nigel and Bo and Brandon on the same line, and playing with the imports, playing with the Russians, the Kazakhs. It was so fun, especially for me as an import, just kind of adjust to the culture, the language, different coaches. So a lot of memories.
That game that you played in overtime, you didn't tell that you was the fourth player on the field, right? Because it was kind of revolutionary decision to bench goalie and replace him with a field player. That was actually amazing. I was watching it live, and I've lost my mind just right away.
It was in 2017 it was with Koreshkov, the new head coach.
Oh yeah.
We pulled up the goalie, and everybody thought that was the late penalty, but it wasn't.
As far as I remember, the first time that Koreshkov did this, like with the 4 players, the guy who scored the puck was Martin, as far as I remember. I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, time flies. It's already 6 years ago. That's crazy.
Yeah. Taking into consider that you was quite popular in Astana, how many people texted you after your departure to Vladivostok?
I mean, just around the league, I had a lot of friends from back home that played on different teams in the KHL, and it was just a matter of different where I was at with my career and kind of trying to find a situation to excel more. but I left on good terms. And then, yeah, there's a lot of guys who are like, what's going on here, right? But had a good time in Vladivostok. Unfortunately, I think well, actually, I got hurt, so I had to go home. But it was sad to leave Astana. But I still follow Barıse on Instagram and, watch all the highlights. So, like I said, maybe you should plan that me, Nigel, Dustin, and Kevel or something come back and make a visit.
You should play golf together. Now they are golf
I would
players.
love to. Oh, really? Yeah, exactly.
So it was a tough season year for Barıse, of course. Year 17, and many players left after this season, like Dawes. But your departure mid-season to Admiral was kind of shocking for many people, and was kind of heartbreaking for the fans. So how that decision came? I mean, Admiral in that time, they had financial problems. They had bad history with paying to players and stuff like that. And still, and you was one of the core players in Barıse. How that decision come?
Yeah, you come to realize after the older you get, you kind of want a different start, maybe different team, different, kind of like a second boost kind of thing for your career. I was playing well. It was just like I said, the opportunity came, and I didn't really want to leave, but it was just a matter of maybe I should try just a new start with a new team. But yeah, we definitely had some issues with the coaches there, and the team paying the players, and that took a long time. But I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But it's unfortunate. But I don't know what's going on now in Vladivostok. Do they have issues with money now, or everything's all settled?
Now everything is great as far as we know, and they last year they made playoffs, and they won in first round Ufa Salavat Ulayev. It was
wow.
It was kind of nice to see underdogs winning the top league team, and many people were kind of happy for them, because usually teams like Amur or Vladivostok, they are kind of drained by these long travels, and they don't have enough money. Kevin, during his podcast with Spitting Chiclets, he was telling about Russian gas. Maybe you went for Admiral for that Russian gas.
No Russian gas for me. I did a few times with the Russian gas, but that was Kevin's thing. I think he brought that from St. Petersburg when he was at SKA or something. I think they all used to do that there. So I never thought I would be doing the Russian gas while playing hockey, but it's definitely I don't think I'd do it again, but that was a good experience. And but when I saw Kevin with the clip, I started laughing, because that's definitely memories again, right? Because time flies. It's already been 5, 6 years, 7 years. So definitely missed the guys, but I thought Astana had, Barıse with the travel and to Moscow and Vladivostok. But when I was in Vladivostok, that, the travel there is even tougher, because you got to fly 12 hours to Moscow, and that's hard on the body. But it's part of the team, and it's part of, you got to know what you're getting yourself into, and got to make it happen.
How does this gas works? Do you know, is it help your body relax and work better? We just have to clarify, because as far as we know, it's not prohibited to use it, but it sounds like mad sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, if we had some good doctors too at the team that obviously they approved it, but I think it has something to do with your cells in your body, with the oxygen transfer to help recovery faster. I think, don't quote me on that, but if I remember correctly, that's what it was for. So you recover faster, and then I think it helps with the mental part too, where it clears your mind, kind of thing. So yeah.
As we said, we already talked to Nigel, Kevin, and Pushy and Boyd. And who are you in contact with from Barıse?
Dustin a little bit, but mostly Kevo and Nigel. Definitely Nigel more. Basically every week we talk.
we remember when Nigel left, and then he still came back to Astana, and he helped national team. And you too, you came back to Astana, and the last game you played in Kazakhstan was for the nationals. And was it the last time you saw and actually used your blue Kazakh passport?
What year was that? That was 2000. That's
19.
19. Yeah, I think that was the last time I wore the blue helmet. Yeah, that was fun because we won, and so that tournament, we won the tournament so that Kazakhstan can go up to the big group, right? The World Championships. Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was definitely good memories and a good feeling to win at home in Astana too, in front of our fans. So that was pretty that's a good memory for sure.
Do you keep the gold medal from this championship?
It's at my house back in Ottawa. Yeah.
Yes. Do you have like this wall of fame, like with all your trophies, medals, and jerseys?
I have all my jerseys that I wore, every team, every year. I have all the medals, trophies, but some of them are in boxes, but some of them are at my parents' place back in Ottawa, Canada. So I don't have them here, unfortunately. But like I said, I do have my Kazakh white and blue jersey still, number 26, right?
Yeah, sure.
What is like to play in Hungary? A lot of travels by the bus, old arenas, old cities, great architecture, great people, probably.
Yeah, in Hungary, yeah. I was in Dunausváros, which was an hour from Budapest, but Budapest has to be one of my top 3 favorite cities in the world. It's beautiful. But yeah, we rode the bus everywhere, but definitely love that culture. It's very European, but there's people from all over the world that go there. It's a clean city, good food, good atmosphere too. Especially, I think the furthest drive was probably in bus to go for an away game was probably 4 or 5 hours. But again, it's a beautiful country, so time flies, and you can just, if you're not sleeping, you can just look at the castles and all the mountains and stuff. A beautiful view.
Best partner
On the ice?
Yep, of course.
Like play for Nigel for sure.
And best city you've played?
I'll say Astana.
Thank you.
Well, probably you will mention Barıse as the strongest team you played in.
For sure, absolutely.
And okay, and who was the best player you've played against?
Oof. In which league? In the KHL?
KHL.
Yeah,
let's go with KHL.
Yeah, probably Kovalchuk when he played for SKA. He was a complete player. Yeah, I'd say Kovalchuk.
And you played alongside with Zdeno Chara in Boston. And is he the strongest and biggest player you ever seen?
Yeah, he's a monster. I think he's 6'8" on skates, 6'9", way over 200 pounds, but he's barely any body fat. He's a strong guy, good skater, long reach with his long arms, and just a nice person, but a big leader. When he talks, everybody listens, and obviously his style of play speaks for itself. But yeah, he's an absolute monster for sure.
Is he bigger than Victor Svedberg?
Oof. Yeah, I think he's bigger. Yeah, for sure he's heavier. For sure.
My God. I mean, Victor is a big guy.
Yeah, no, Zdeno's an absolute monster for sure.
And
what about Ovechkin? Have you played against Alex Ovechkin?
Yeah, when I was with Boston, we played one game in Washington. But that was a long time. This 2008. So I don't really remember, but when you get called up to the NHL, obviously you're a big fan, right? But you don't want to get starstruck, so you kind of try to focus on your game. But I knew that game was really important to me because I was trying to stay up with the team, so I didn't really notice him. But yeah, definitely played against Ovi. And then who else did I play with? I played against Yager when he was in New York, so that was pretty cool. But I think for sure Kovalchuk was probably the biggest star that I was kind of like, wow, like he's that good in person, right?
Do you have like can you name the player that you like hated play against?
Hated.
You can name among all teams that you played. I mean, in NHL, AHL, and KHL.
Well, funny you say that because when I was training to be a firefighter, his name was Andre DeVoe, who now is a firefighter too. But I saw him. He used to play for Hartford, the Rangers, um, San Antonio in the AHL. Him and I always. He was a big center, but he was always on the penalty kill when I was on the power play, and he was a third, second line center, so he's always against me. Um, but I never fought him. He was way too big, but we always flashed each other and. Met him a couple of times off the ice during my career, but I'd always slash him. He'd always kind of pin me on the boards, and he was obviously way stronger than me. But I saw him at the training ground for firefighters, so we kind of joked after it because we kind of shook hands and said, "Okay, you're a good guy." So if I ever see him again, but yeah, I despise that guy. Despise, but he's actually a good guy, right? There's a lot of things like a lot of guys like that in the heat of the moment. You want to perform on the ice, but off the ice, are all good guys too.
Actually, asking that question to Nigel and Pushi and Kevin, of course, and Dustin. Roman Starchenko is still playing. He's the captain this season. He's now injured, but anyway, he started this season good. Do you ever thought that he might have been a big star in the NHL, or maybe even have some impact in the NHL?
I think I asked him like the second week I got to Astana because him and I played on the same line. He's a great player, and I guess he just had no interest in going to try AHL, NHL in North America. And there's a lot of guys like that, like Mosiakin too. Played for Midtiller. Just had a great career in the KHL. It's tough to go away that far with your family and stuff, but he could have definitely had a good career in North America for sure. I don't know which league, but he's a great overall player. So I'm happy for him that he's a captain now. That's funny. Good for Starry.
Hockey is a tough game, and as we can see, especially in Russia and Kazakhstan, if you look at the hockey players, they usually like kind of tough man, not so talkative, not so usually they don't seem happy. And when we remember you, and you always have this smile on your face, you're always nice to the fans, nice to other players. We can see your interactions in social media. Like, what's your secret?
I think it's just a mental state that that I learned through my career. That obviously, as a Canadian player, played not far away from home. I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, or family or kids or whatever, so I was by myself. So obviously you kind of want to have a good support system. I'm really close with my parents and my brother and all my friends at home, but you have to make your own fun sometimes. And even if I had a bad day, you go to sleep, next day is a new day, right? And you want to be the fun guy. You always want to joke around. And I was fortunate enough that we had some good imports too, so it made it easier for me to learn about Astana and all the restaurants and all that stuff. But I took pride into kind of I knew Pushy from the AHL, but trying to learn some Russians and go for beers, go for food with the guys, joke around on the plane. So good game, bad game, you look forward to the next one, and you got to make the most of it for yourself and be happy. So I don't think there's any secret. I think it's just put a smile on your face and work hard and put your head down, focus, and good things will come.
I would say Martin in top 3 in my list of players who smiles a lot. Kevin, Martin, and Corbin Knight. Corbin was like terrific, always smile.
Yeah,
nice.
You said that you've been learning some Russian words. Can you say something on Russian? Maybe a few words.
If I remember, Меня зовут Мартин. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 and 10, I have a big issue, but Синий, зеленый, красный, желтый, белый, спасибо. Just the basic. I was able to go to the restaurant by myself sometimes and just order some food, right? So that was fun for me to do.
It
I
always
remember your number one fan in Astana. She asked me to ask you that question.
If I remember.
yeah.
Yeah, do you remember your number one fan in Astana?
I think
The
I
girl.
do.
She used to wear your jersey on the home games.
All the time, yeah.
No, she's actually working in Hockey Federation right now.
Really?
Well, yeah. Funny story, like she and her kids were visiting home games throughout the years, and you were her favorite player. And then she became a manager at hockey club Barıse, and right now she's a head of marketing department in Hockey Federation. So you can count it on your side, like you pushed one person to become a specialist in hockey industry.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy for her. That's awesome.
And I can say her name. It's Aliyah, right?
Yeah, it's Aliyah.
Yeah.
One of the best persons in hockey that I know. Very, very open person. Yeah.
She knows everything about hockey. She knows she's good.
Sure. One thing that always like breaks my mind, like when the guy travels to NHL, everybody speaks English, even the person that went to NHL, right? Usually, if he's not Russian, right? Usually, but when people come to KHL, it's like chaos, like people speaking Russian, Swedish, English, and how you even understand each other, how you understand the coach. Like usually we can see like on the bench and coaches like speaking something like Skabelka, for example, he tells like do this and that and they do everything, and me and my friends we like look at Linden, for example. He didn't even listen because he doesn't understand, right? So how this works?
Well, that's why for me, like hockey is hockey, so it doesn't matter what language you play. If the coach is drawing like a practice or a drill on the board, you can kind of get what the drill is. But when I was trying to learn Russian, I paid a lot of attention to like the hockey words, right? So the colors of our lines, positions, and like skate, shoot, and all that stuff. So at the end of the day, it's always the same thing, right? So you get there, most of the guys are experienced enough to know when they make a mistake or a good play. If you make a mistake, they're going to get screaming at you on the bench. So like you said, Lyndon, about not listening, he hears everything. He just doesn't want to turn around because he knows what he's saying, but you kind of have to listen to it and then let it go because the next shift is important, right? But definitely the Russian coaches definitely yell loud, way louder than I was used to, but you get used to it. Try not to make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So you're a firefighter now, but is there any hockey left in your life, maybe as a fan, or maybe you're practicing with some old guys you used to play with?
Well, when I retired March 2021 for probably 5-6 months, I was just mentally and physically exhausted from hockey after 17 years. I kind of just wanted to come home and kind of just, like I said, spend time with friends and family. But I didn't even skate once in probably 6 months. Barely watched any hockey on TV. But I'd say probably within the last 6 months, 5 months, I've kind of just got back into it. I skate once in a while, but my equipment is here. But it's just for fun, especially in the summers, just to see a lot of friends back home and try to stay in shape. But a couple of charity games here and there, but that's about it.
Okay, that's the same with Nigel, right, John? He told us like during this summer he didn't even skate.
Not once.
Not once. He told like, yeah, last time I skate, but I was helping to my kids team, like, but during the summer he didn't even skate.
That's awesome. I'll have to pick on him for that.
I mean, it's hard not to skate when you travel, when you live in Canada. I think because ice rinks or hockey ads is somewhere, right? It's everywhere. I mean,
it's everywhere. This city, I don't know how many arenas there are, but everybody plays hockey here in Canada. So for me, it's just finding that passion again. And obviously it was my work and my life, but I'm kind of happy that I'm getting back into it as a fan. But I'd probably like to play a little bit more, but I don't know if I want to get in coaching yet. But like you're saying, like Nigel with his son, I'm sure once he gets to play hockey pretty soon, I would think. I'm sure he'll get on the ice a little bit, but if there's a game or alumni game in Astana, I'll definitely come and play.
And my last question: how much money you make as a firefighter per year?
How much money? It depends, but it's definitely not as good as playing in Astana for Barıse, but there's good benefits, right? A lot of, especially in Canada, for your eyes, for your teeth, for your health, and they take care of the family too. So probably in between 50 and 100,000 maybe, but it depends. It varies how many years you're in the service and all that stuff. Kind of like hockey. The older you get, if you perform well, you get more money.
Yeah, so we started with firefighting and your current occupation, and so my last question will be about it. And I'm not making this up because it was I had two dreams when I was kid. One dream, I would like to be a sailor, but obviously Kazakhstan don't have any access to the oceans or sea, so I never become a sailor. And the second dream, when I got older, when I was in university, one of my dream was like, if I would ever move to USA or Canada, to North America, I would become a firefighter. Because I personally think, because I think it's really a useful profession. You kind of belong to this, and you're helping the society, you're changing, you're saving lives, and stuff like that. So my question is, if I ever move to North America, how hard is it to pass all these tests?
Well, if you have the right mentality and physical shape, and it's a long process. There's a lot to learn because for me, I didn't do a lot of school while playing hockey, so it's kind of hard to get back into lots of reading and studying. But you'd be fine. I think anybody can be a firefighter. It's just a matter of working hard and kind of having the right mindset to learn and train hard, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
And if you ever consider to travel to Kazakhstan, please hit us with your message. We would like to see you in person, maybe not doing any interview, but just to meet you here in Kazakhstan. It would be just great.
Absolutely. Sounds good, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.